SPCX closed Friday at 161. After hours pushed it up 1.5%. Then the weekend happened. Iran peace deal. Futures ripping. Nasdaq futures up 1.3%. Oil down 3.8%. Risk is back on. And Elon Musk just woke up the world's first trillionaire. That's the setup for day 2. Let me walk you through what I'm watching. Look, if you're new here, hit subscribe. Free watch list link in the pinned comment. Day 1 was quiet. The IPO popped 19%, but spent most of the day between 158 and 164. No melt up, no crash, just settling. That's actually healthy. The worst IPOs are the ones that spike 50% and then bleed for weeks. But day 2 is different. Day 2 is when the weekend narrative shows up. The Iran deal is the gift SPCX didn't ask for. Risk on across the board. Tech leading. Growth stocks catching a bid. Everything that was sold ahead of the IPO to free up capital, the sellers might start buying back, not because SpaceX changed, because the macro changed. And then there's the Trillionaire headline. Look, I'm not trading based on a net worth story, but here's why it matters. Musk, at $1 trillion, is every financial outlet's lead story this morning. That means eyeballs. Eyeballs mean retail attention. Retail attention on day 2 of a stock with 30% retail allocation? You do the math. Here's my setup. The 163 to 165 zone is the line. SPCX tested 163 twice Friday and got rejected both times. If Monday's open pushes through 163 on volume and holds, that's the signal. I'd look for an entry on the first 15-minute candle close above 163. Stop at 158, below Friday's low. Target 175. Why 175? Because that's just below the lockup trigger at 175.50. The market knows that number, it'll price around it. If SPCX gets to 174 and stalls, take the trade-off before the mechanics kick in. What if it doesn't break 163? Then I wait. Below 158 and the trade isn't ready. The green shoe floor is at 135. Nobody's testing that. But between 158 and 163, that's chop. That's not a trade. That's indecision. One more thing. CRSP index inclusion is Thursday, June 18th. That's $380 billion in mechanical buying hitting the tape. The arbitrage crowd is already positioned. But if SPCX is still below 165 on Wednesday, the index buyers get a better entry than the IPO buyers. Think about that. One question, SPCX at 161. You buying day 2 or waiting for the index inclusion? Drop it in the comments. This stock has the IPO mechanics, the Iran tailwind, the Trillionaire headline, the index inclusion clock ticking. Day 2 is when you find out whether all of that adds up to a trade or just noise. Trade safe. If you made it this far, you know the drill. Subscribe, hit the bell. Free watch list in the pinned comment. See you next time.